if you'll notice, we have 3 scouting uniforms on right here. And that is, I have the field uniform on, and President Smith has, doesn't he look handsome with his scout tie on? He has that uniform on, and Elder Tillman has the priesthood uniform on. And in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they're all priesthood uniforms, because scouting is part of the priesthood. And the elephant in the room is where is the church, and where is the church going with regard to scouting? Without belaboring it, can I just tell you of a meeting that we had with Elder Holland? And we have a meeting with him once a year, and with the Key 3, the National Key 3, and we meet with him. His comment was, we are all in. If you want to write something down, could you write that down? We are all in. Now, can you hear Elder Holland saying that from the pulpit? Well, he said it to us, and I will just share that with you. And if others say, well, what about tomorrow? Well, what about tomorrow? President Lee said decades ago, when the Boy Scouts of America stops meeting the needs of the Aaronic priesthood, then we'll look for something else. It's always been that way. From the time President Hinckley's father, Bryant Hinckley, and Oscar A. Kirkham went to New York in about 1910 or 1911 to look at scouting, and then came back and recommended to the 12 and the first presidency that scouting become the activity arm of the Aaronic priesthood, because it was not an activity program alone, it was a character building program. That's what it was. It's not just any activity program. It's not just to give us ideas and resources and opportunities to have activities. It's one that teaches values. Tufts University did a recent study. They took Cub Scouting, and they took 2 study groups, a group of Cub Scouts and a group those not involved in scouting. And at the end of their research, it was very clear those who were involved in scouting had developed character traits along the areas of cheerfulness, service, helpfulness, all of those character values that we talk about when we raise our arm to the square. And those who were not in scouting had either stayed the same or dropped in that area. Now, I don't know about you, but I want young men, I want my grandsons, I want my son-in-laws to have every single character value that is part of the Scout Oath and Scout Law. I want them to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. I can't think of a better guide for missionary preparation. I've seen President Hinckley stand up and do that exact same thing, put his arm to the square and give the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. I've seen President Monson do the same thing. This is something where, again, in the words of Elder Holland, we are all in.